So the biggest, most exclusive, and most important Madden 20 news was dropped last night. The most in-depth details about the new Madden game has been released. And to put it all together and to summarize it, instead of you guys having to watch a full 10-minute video, we'll just quickly cut to this quick clip.
It is quite funny that you think you have bested me, but I actually knew this was going to come down to the final play of the game, and I knew you were going to activate your Jalen Ramsey's lockdown ability. Too bad you weren't expecting this one. I now summon flashback Antonio Brown super high ball catch.
So that was a joke. Kind of, sort of, it's 100% accurate, but at the same time, it's more than that, and it's better than what it sounds like. It's very intricate, but I believe at the end of the day, this whole entire new system, all these new traits, X Factor, Zones, Superstar, X Factor, X-Men stuff, I do believe is going to bring a positive impact on the new Madden 20 coming out this August. Now, I do think it's gonna probably be very complicated and it'll have some bugs. It's a whole new system, but I always have said, and I've always been an advocate, I believe once we get past just ratings being the sole factor on how players play in a sports video game, I think that is the step in the right direction. Now, EA's big stream last night talked about the deep dive into the Superstar X Factors, and a lot more information was dropped as well. And today I'll just summarize that info, give my input, and probably put it into simpler terms for you guys that might not actually understand what they're talking about. And I do think it's a big difference, but I do think it's going to end up being a positive. Now, basically what they're talking about here is that they added in all these new X Factor, Superstar factors, so they can make the NFL stars feel like actual stars, which 100% is a positive. That's one really cool thing that has not been implemented before, is making the players unique to how they play in real life. And that's exactly what these new Superstar abilities do for Madden 20 and allow us to do in the game in franchise mode and even in Ultimate Team. Now, it will probably get tricky and some of it will probably be glitchy, but hopefully it ends up being a positive. I do think it's going to be. And also it says it'll allow us to build unique playbooks and new NFL strategy. And this right here, my friends, is the key and the difference in this game being taken to the next level. Because this right here is what has stunted the growth of this game for years. Whenever we can get to the point where things are unique and you don't see the same things over and over again in competitive play, and what it takes to actually be good at the game actually is entertaining and things are unique, that is when this game has the potential to get to the next level. Now, it also says create more immersive moments and deliver a polished experience. Now, for that, let's get to the Superstar X Factors. The Superstar X Factors are the abilities given to these players, these real NFL players, to make them feel like themselves in Madden 20. It says the story for each game in Madden 20 will be told by 50 of the NFL's most elite athletes, who will be featured in the game as X Factors. So that's what they mean by Superstar X Factors, as you see about 50 best players in the league. These players frequently take their team to elite levels by raising their game when it matters the most, especially when they get in what athletes know as the zone. Now, the zone is an extra ability that these players get once they reach a target in the game, such as for Patrick Mahomes, maybe once he completes 3 touchdown passes, he'll get another ability which will help out his game, which will be unique to that time when he's in the zone, and then eventually maybe if throws an interception or gets sacked or something, that ability goes away. But it makes sense because you do see athletes in real time, in real games, they have moments, obviously, where they play better than others, which this makes sense. When you have confidence, when you build up momentum, your player more than likely is going to play better. So once again, I love this. It's realistic. It says each of these 50 players will have a loadout of powerful abilities, including one zone ability that can be unlocked during gameplay by completing an in-game objective, like I just mentioned. When the objective is achieved, they will enter the zone and have success to their special ability until their opponent knocks them out of the zone with an objective of their own. So the key to this, with all these additions, is the fact that every ability and every X Factor, all these different terms have their counter. Hence why we say this is like Yu-Gi-Oh! But I still, even though it seems kind of funky, I do think it's for the better. Now, the one key about this is that all the zone abilities and superstar abilities doesn't boost their ratings at all. It's just characteristics and behaviors in the game that are a little bit different in certain situations. Now, we do actually have a full graphic for an example of Patrick Mahomes and all of his abilities. Now, his superstar X Factor ability is Bazooka, which is funny. It's funny. It says when in the zone, his maximum throw distance is increased to 80 yards. So this is just an example of the objectives that he can complete in the game to get him into the zone. Is once he completes a 30-yard pass in the air, he gets in this zone, this bazooka zone, and once he gets sacked, he won't be able to throw the ball 80 yards again. So, I mean, that makes sense, dude, because I find it stupid that he can throw the ball 80 yards in real life. In a Madden, right now in Madden 19, he can't throw the ball 80 yards because it even said in the Twitch stream that the cap you can throw a football is 70 yards. I did a whole entire video earlier on this year, like trying to test how far you could throw a football in Madden. And no matter what you do with the sliders and the throw power and the wind, the fastest or the farthest you can throw, rather, is only like 70 yards. So I find that stupid, but now with Patrick Mahomes, we can throw it 80 freaking yards. And he also has all these abilities that are equipped during the game. Dashing Deadeye, perfect passing accuracy when throwing on the run when outside the pocket, excluding high/low throws, under pressure, and crossbody throws. It'd be funny if they had a specific ability where you could throw the ball without looking. Red Zone Deadeye, perfect passing accuracy inside the red zone, which excludes high and low throws and under pressure. Once again, they all have counters. Also, Escape Artist, which I love this one. Elite speed and agility when scrambling behind the line of scrimmage on passing plays. And No Look Deadeye, perfect passing accuracy when making cross-body throws, excluding high, low, and under pressure throws. So this is just an example of Patrick Mahomes, and this is just cool, I think. Like, when you bring in unique things, like Patrick Mahomes obviously has the strongest arm in the NFL. I think we all can agree on that. I feel like in the game, bringing this, like, beyond the ratings is what allows this for Patrick Mahomes to be unique to what he is in real life. So I feel like it's definitely, this whole entire system is a step in the right direction. Now here's some more abilities. Julian Edelman has the Slot-O-Matic Superstar ability. He excels at route running and contested catches when running routes from a slot receiver position, which makes sense because it's freaking Julian Edelman, the MVP of the Super Bowl. Now here's some more superstar abilities. Pass Lead Elite, extended precision passing on all throws except for high and low throws. Pocket Deadeye, perfect passing accuracy when passing with the QB's feet set from inside the pocket. Matchup Nightmare, get open and wins contested catches when covered by a single linebacker or defensive lineman, which makes sense, you know. You would expect, like, I don't know, Julio Jones to catch the ball against a Damon Harrison. Like, doesn't that just make sense? And Edge Rush Elite frequently uses dominant pass rush moves when rushing from a defensive edge position. And I mean, that just makes sense as well. That's what edge rushers that are good do. Now, once again, as I mentioned, the reason that I think these are going to be successful is that all the abilities have a counter. So for Julian Edelman's ability, if the defender covering him has either zoned out or main up catch knockout ability, then the outcome will be decided by a 50-50 flip, which I don't like, but at least it has a counter. Now, the one cool thing about it too is the Superstar X Factor players is a list that will evolve throughout the season. So players throughout the NFL season, as they, players that play better than what we think and players that don't play as good as what we think will get like abilities added to them throughout the season. So I like that it's an evolving list throughout the regular season to once again make it more realistic of how things are going on in real life. Now, the cool thing is that this is gonna be in franchise mode, and once again, there is more now to a player than their ratings. You want to get a player that has these Superstar X Factor abilities, and there is, I believe, a cap on how many abilities you can have at once, and I believe they said in the first stream that it is 6. I could be wrong, but I believe you can only have 6 abilities on offense and on defense, or something like that. At least there is a limit, which does make sense. So the franchise mode abilities have been tied to players' development traits. In order to be able to have access to ability loadouts, players will need the development traits to unlock them. As such, the development traits have been updated to reflect that potential. So the players that have Superstar X Factor development trait can get Zone and Superstar abilities. Superstar is just Superstar abilities, and Star and Normal have no abilities. So the higher your development trait, the more actual abilities that you can get. At the end of each season, top performers can increase their development trait to unlock abilities. Even more exciting is that drafting a rookie with a Superstar potential development trait, meaning that once you play with them enough, they will reveal either they have one of these development traits. So you don't actually know this when you draft a player, which is pretty cool, because once again, you could draft a player that's an 86 overall, so he might not have the Superstar X Factor ability. So even though he's an 86, you might have rather have drafted that 79 overall that can get the Zone and Superstar abilities. Now this is just talking about an Ultimate Team. Thank God they took out chemistry abilities and they're being replaced by the Superstar abilities. I mean, at the end of the day, they're kind of like the same thing, although they're not unique to every player. But it's basically the same thing, but I think I like the Superstar ability whole idea more than chemistries. Chemistries just were annoying. It makes sense too because it does allow you to adjust your play style Like it says, if you're more like with the scrambling quarterback, you want to get some mobile QB abilities, so on and so forth. So I do like that a little bit. Now, there are superstar animations. To make stars feel like stars, we don't just stop with the abilities. We are delivering signature and custom animations and presentations from Superstar X Factors too. So throwing animations will be pretty much just like some of the top quarterbacks. Obviously, they're not going to have all of them, just the top ones. Now, passing animations. Packers QB Aaron Rodgers will have the fastest release in the game, followed closely by Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield and Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, which makes 1,000,000% of sense. Because obviously, there's not a rating for like a quarterback release time, but that is such a big factor in real life that it should just be a thing. Once again, my quote, once the gameplay gets beyond ratings, that's when we're talking about this game making an improvement. Now, pump fake mechanics is going to be tweaked a big bit, so that's something that's pretty cool because you don't really see many people pump faking nowadays in Madden. They're adding some new signature animations and special moves, some new first down and sack celebrations, because the touchdown celebrations too, man, like they're not good. Like, it's all like Fortnite dances, and we don't like that. Now, there's a lot of things within the gameplay they did polish, like they're like significantly shorting the amount of time spent showing gameplay before and after the play, so it's a lot more of you actually playing the game when you're playing head-to-head. They tuned up the pass rushing, which I'm not really sure how big of a change it's going to make, but one of the things that has been a problem in the past is just pass rush and the way pass rush is being brought. Your blocker's not making blocks, so I'm not sure to the extent that they actually did tweak pass rush, but I'm just hoping it's more fun. Like, hopefully it's just not annoying. Some more little gameplay tweaks, refactor of under pressure quarterback penalties, talking about how the abilities that your quarterback does have helps a lot when it comes to quarterback under pressure and what happens when he's under pressure. Getting sacks, multiple defenders now can seamlessly add on to tackle animations when sacking the QB. Rush get up animations. If a player gets knocked to the ground while the play is still alive, they'll now hurry to get up off the field and be more aware of the game situation. As we all know in Madden, sometimes if a player like falls on the ground, it takes about 15 minutes to get up, and sometimes for some reason he doesn't count as down. It's crazy, but at least they fixed that. Now it says limits have been placed on lurking linebackers, and we all know that one of the abilities as a Madden player is to be able to control your user, whether it be a linebacker or what have you, but at the same time, not every linebacker, I believe, should easily be able to run from sideline to sideline just because it's your user. So they did say they kind of tweaked that a little bit this year, but obviously, once again, I feel like this makes sense. Some of the best ball-in-air linebackers have been equipped with certain abilities to allow them to play like they have played in the past. So once again, I think that 100% is a W. And there's been polishing on blocking, catching, tackling, which is obviously needed from year to year. And just some more just small little tweaks they have made to gameplay. But this is easily the most info we've had on gameplay yet. And I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to get you guys' hopes up, and I don't, even more importantly, want to get my hopes up. But I do have to say, man, I believe the whole idea of bringing the game beyond the overall ratings and making things outside of the overall ratings important does like allow for a more enjoyable, unique, and realistic experience for the user, and hopefully this ends up being a dub. Now I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. Are you excited for Madden 20? Are you not? You think this is too much like Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't freaking know. I just hope at the end of the day this game doesn't freaking suck, dude, because my channel's already on the freaking ropes.